Hi, I'm Ariane. I'm a French illustrator and artist, and I draw my face every day. You could say that I'm a creature of habit. And today I'd like to talk to you about this daily drawing habit. I'd like to invite you to join me for a month of daily self-portrait drawing. And I'd like to answer my most frequently asked questions about daily self-portrait drawing. So if you're at all interested, please join in. So I've been drawing my face for the past 2 years now. It's been over 2 years, and I've filled 6 self-portrait sketchbooks as of late. And I'm just gonna talk to you while answering some of the most frequently asked questions that I've had, and then I'll talk to you about my invitation to draw with me for a month. The first question, and I thought it would be a coherent one to start with, is what made me want to start a daily self-portrait practice? Is it? Yeah. What made me want to start a daily self-portrait practice? I started this daily self-portrait practice, I'm gonna say daily self-portrait so many times in this video, because French illustrator artist Magali Cazot started a daily self-portrait drawing challenge in the winter of 2024? Yes, 2024, called Miroir Miroir, and she invited us on her Instagram channel to just explore self-portraits daily through prompts, her own sharing of her own self-portraits. And to be honest, I'm just basically copying her. I'm just copying her, but I'm doing a bad job at it. Magali Cazot is an epic artist, and she's so inspiring, and not only the art that she makes, but the way that she talks about her practice really resonates with me. So I started through her challenge Miroir Miroir, and I just never stopped because it gave me so much. I just loved doing it. Oh, it's Alexandra. Alexandra says, after drawing self-portraits for so long, have you noticed any difference in your skills or in your approach? Are you seeing/knowing what line to put down next more easily? Just curious if any you're noticing growth progression in yourself, if any, sorry. So there's several questions in this question, but the easy answer is of course that I'm seeing changes, and that's why I'm doing it. Changes in my skills, 100%. I'm not attributing this too much to daily practice, although I am I've never been quote-unquote bad at drawing in the sense that I've always been drawing. And when I started this daily self-portraits challenge with Magali Cazot, I was in a rut. I hadn't been drawing in a while because I had gone through some traumas that made me need to avoid my day-to-day life, and I wasn't drawing, and that is not the norm for me. In my opinion, skills is something that anyone can have with practice, a daily dedication. It just so happens that some people would say that I'm young and I'm skilled, but I've been drawing way longer than them. For instance, if I want to take an example, I have a colleague who is 60 years old, and she's just learning how to draw. She's 60 and she's a beginner, and next to her, I'm half her age, but I've been drawing for my whole life. So, you know, it makes sense that my skills would be where they are compared to her. But not drawing, it gives you forget, well, in my experience, not drawing, I forgot how to look. That is one side of the equation, and then also I forgot how to trust myself. When you draw every day, you begin to build not only skill, but also trust in your own skill. And sometimes, in my humble opinion, I'm just gonna say that, like, everything that I say is just my humble opinion and not a universal truth, but in my opinion and in my experience, confidence is way more valuable than any kind of skill. You will see many different kinds of artists and with many different types of skills, and what makes a difference between an artist that is universally recognized as someone being good or bad is usually not about real skill, but about the way that they approach. That's my opinion. Oh my god, always justifying myself. You could see someone doing something very simple, but once they own it and know that it is theirs, also doing something with intention. So I'm digressing a lot, but yes, my skill has improved a lot, but my confidence has improved so much more. And now, of course, there are ways that I see my hand like going through the same passageways because I know my own face, and I'm gonna jump back on that, but I always try to, you know, have all the different angles so that I can know my own face and I can see the changes in my face. You know, I want to know myself, but I want to look at myself. And there is this trap that I have seen myself falling into, is that sometimes I will just draw without looking, but my aim is always to look, and that's why I kind of switch it up always. So yes, I've seen my skill improve, I've seen the way that I look at my work improve, I've seen myself draw some lines more confidently than I used to before. What else? It's just overall easier, but I'm gonna say one more thing. Sometimes I will go through phases of not wanting to draw, of drawing being harder. That's usually when I like to make a change in the way that I approach my technique or the angle that I'm drawing. Usually when I feel stuck, instead of taking a pause, I really want to keep this daily practice. Instead of taking a pause, I like to change the way that I'm looking at my practice. That was a long answer to only one question, but I feel like that was a long question as well. Olivia asks what made me want to draw such fun and atypical self-portraits. And my partner shared with me an artist whose name I always forget. What is his name? I'll look him up. I feel like his name is John Adams, but John Adams is not the same. Anyway, an old-timey guy who painted himself in all different kinds of funny positions, like yawning or, you know, I distinctly remember one of him yawning and my god, the memory of a painting of him yawning made me yawn. That's how good the self-portraits are. I'm gonna put them somewhere on the screen. And honestly, at this point, I was just drawing my face like, you know, front-faced and always kind of focused. In the challenge Miroir Miroir, Magali Chiasso made us draw ourselves with a mirror, hence the name Miroir Miroir, which means mirror, mirror. And so I was always kind of focused, like, and trying to look, you know, presentable, pretty. And then I saw these self-portraits and I was like, this is amazing. I want to express how I'm feeling every day. And then I started seeing my self-portraits. There are several aspects to this answer as well. I started seeing my daily self-portraits as a kind of reflection on my daily morning pages that I do. If you've read The Artist's Way, you know what morning pages are. If you don't know, leave a comment and I'll answer. So I found this way of just reflecting who I am today, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, you know, whatever's going through the moment I'm drawing my self-portrait. And I found this really fun. I found this a real fun experiment. And then there's an other side to that, is that if I'm drawing my face always the same angle, it'll just become boring. Or will it? I don't know, I like repetition, but if I draw all the different angles, it becomes this way of knowing myself so well that I'm never ever again surprised when I see a picture of me from a funny angle. And that's kind of the self-acceptance side of the thing that, you know, I've struggled. It may not look like I have, because I guess on the internet I look like a very confident and perky person, but I've had so many body image issues, and yeah, seeing my face from all the weird angles and funny faces and funny, you know, grimaces, it just makes it easier for me. What I know I can love is kind of the mentality of the whole thing. Like, once I know myself and all the crevices and weird faces and weird expressions, I can learn to love this, and by drawing it, I'm putting it on a kind of pedestal that makes it so much easier to love it. First of all, because it's funny, and then again because I give time and care and attention to the angles that I used to find ugly. So that's the answer to your question, Olivia. The next question that is kind of an answer to what I've just said. Anaïs asks, she asked it in French, she said, beaucoup de grimaces, c'est plus amusant comme exercice. She asked if it was funnier for me to grimace, to pull faces every time I draw my face. And to be honest, yes, it is fun. It is fun, but also it is crucial to me to be pulling faces because of all the things that I mentioned before. Anam, I don't know how to pronounce the name, asks how much time it usually takes me, and that is a very interesting question. It can take me anywhere from 5 minutes up to an hour. I have not, as of yet, spent more time than an hour per day painting a self-portrait, but I have different types of self-portraits that I can include videos and images of. A rough sketch. Because this is a daily practice, I have to be flexible with the way that I use my time and the way that I execute the habit. And so that is why I have allowed myself to consider that a self-portrait is done even if I have just scribbled one line on the paper. And so some of my self-portraits will look like a very quick sketches that I've done in like 30 seconds even sometimes. Like I've done one or two, like 30 seconds or a minute, like, and some of them, like the ones that I have on display, have taken me closer to an hour and 30 minutes. So it depends on the energy that I have in the day, it depends on what I'm working on at the moment. If I'm working through some other stuff and I want to have time for other things, sometimes I will be like, okay, just a quick self-portrait, and then I can move on to other things. And sometimes I really have to nurture the relationship that I have with myself and with my face and with art that I make only for myself. And then I will spend a little bit more time on my self-portrait. And usually when I don't feel like drawing, I will have to spend a lot more time on my self-portrait. Someone asked me something about the materials that I've used, and honestly I've used anything and everything. I really love on this one, I'm using pastels, and I used all different kinds of brands of pastels. Some of them were Manly, some of them were Sennelier, some of them were Neocolor 2s and 1s. Yeah, any kind of pastel that I have on hand. I've used all the brands of colored pencils. If you haven't seen my colored pencil video, you should go check it out. I've used graphite pencil. Once again, if you haven't seen my graphite pencil video, you should check it out. I've used watercolor, charcoal watercolor, and I've used, I've used it all. Acrylics as well. Yeah, I really want at the moment I'm drawing my self-portraits in an onion skin journal, that is the journal with the transparent pages that you can see above, and I really want my next sketchbook to be, the cheap art creations one, just like this one, and to be going back to painting with watercolor during my self-portraits. I think it's gonna be really fun. I've missed painting with watercolors, so yay! Someone is asking me if I'm one day going to release a book of my self-portraits, and honestly I'm thinking about it, but I really need to know if you'd be interested in buying it. So if you would like to see a book of my faces, please leave a comment and tell me that you would, because honestly I'm not gonna do it if at least 10 people, if there are not at least 10 people who leave me a comment telling me that they would be interested. Also, my friend Verga asks me to show you my favorite self-portraits, and that is why I've shown you this. It's honestly so difficult. It's honestly so difficult to choose. I really enjoyed, and I'm gonna tell you a story about those also. This this is a Leuchtturm, what is it, 140 grams paper sketchbook that I bought, and that is quite expensive, and I really hated working in it until I started using pastels in it, and at some point I just reached a flow state, and kind of all the self-portraits that I've made I've loved inside of this sketchbook, but this one I really love because the angle is different, and I just see myself when I look at it. I don't know, I just love it. There is no way to explain it. Yeah, the angle is such a little bit weird, and I feel like I just managed to do it so well. I don't know, I love it. Another one of my favorites is this one from the first time that I ever baked sourdough bread, and I was waiting for the bread to cook, and I painted this, and I took a selfie when I farted and it's the face that I made, and I thought it was really funny. And then this one I really like because the shadows are subtle, and I feel like I got a likeness without even aiming to have a likeness, and that is why I really, really love it. And then the one on top, I'm going to show you from closer. This one, oh my god, I love it so much because I love the way that I did the shape of my nose. I don't often draw my nose from this angle, and I just had so much fun drawing it, and I think it's such a beautiful love letter to my nose. Is it this side or this side? I feel like it is this side, but I might be mistaken. But yeah, I don't usually draw myself from a profile, and no, it is this side. And I just love it. I love it, I want to do it more. I could invent a lot more questions, but honestly, people haven't been asking me much questions about my self-portraits. But on this note, I want to invite you and tell you that from today on, and for a month long, so from January 12th to February 12th, I will be hosting an informal self-portrait club, daily self-portrait club, in my channel on Instagram. And it's completely free, and it's completely no pressure, low stakes. I just wanna connect with people who want to start a daily drawing practice, even if it's drawing, you know, trying and failing and trying again and failing again. Like, no pressure at all, but every day I'll be sharing my self-portrait, sending you a little voice message, giving you prompts, talking to you about my practice, answering questions, and hopefully we can all have a very good time and, you know, spend the heart of the winter months just building community and also looking inwards a little bit. I feel like that's really important. You may know that I'm an illustrator as well as an artist, and the self-portrait side of things is really my personal practice that I do because I have to in order to survive, like how harsh the world is. And then the illustration side of it is more something more external. Well, I do it because I want to do it and because I love doing it, but it's like the thing that I want to make a job out of. And sometimes I feel kind of stupid for not making a job out of the daily self-portraits because I feel like this could be monetized, but I don't know how. Am I dumb? Please tell me how I should monetize this, because if I could make money out of it, I think I'd like that. I don't know. Maybe making this book. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like in the winter months, it is so much easier for me to stick to the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is drawing my face every day and looking inwards. And yeah, if that sounds interesting at all, please join my Instagram and join my channel / canal. I don't know how I think canal is the French word. I don't know, but yeah, join us, come draw your face for a month, or just watch me draw my face every day for a month and be curious about it, happy about it. I don't know. Let's draw together. It'll be fun. Also, there is a little shop update on my shop. I'm selling a few originals that I want to find new homes for because I love them, but you know, girls gotta eat. And if you're a patron of mine, a paying patron of mine, you get 10% out of my shop. And if you're one of the cute people who pre-ordered my zine A Perfect Day when it came out, you also have a 15% discount that you can DM me with a proof of having bought it, and I will send it back to you. So yay! Go visit my shop if you're at all interested in my cute art. Love you, ta-ta! See you next week!